Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Life Goes On podcast. I'm your host, Kiana J. Hey, y'all. So, we got a very special episode today. We are going to talk to the younger generation. The name of this show is Product of Your Environment. So, I'm going to go around and introduce who we have, and we're going to go from there. So, who do I have sitting next to me in the studio today?
Measy.
You said who?
Measy.
Measy. That's okay. That's Measy. Okay. And then who we have online?
Teflon.
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 All right. Teflon. Teflon is a cousin of mine. Hey, Teflon Don.
What up?
And then who else do we have?
Look out.
All right. That's my son. Mm-hmm. I had to, I'm a person of, if we're going to talk about it, let's be real about it. I raised some little YNs too. So we just going to get it on out there. Let's go. So, thank y'all all for attending this show. I actually wrote down some questions, so let's get it cracking. Mm-hmm. So,
Get it.
let's start with. Hold on one second, y'all. My internet is not working right now. Let's start by family life. Let's start there, and I'm gonna ask each one of y'all a question, and have each one of y'all answer it piece by piece. Okay. I'm gonna start with you here in the studio. How was your family life like?
My family life pretty much like you mean like just like the whole entire family or
Yeah,
just like
like the house you was raised in.
like the house I was raised in. So my
Mhm.
mom had 2 kids. It was me, my granddad, and then my little brother and my mom's. It just you know, me and my mom, we didn't really see like eye to eye kind of like growing up. So I kind of was like the you know, like the child that was different, you know what I mean? I didn't really I felt like me personally, it might not, you know, been that, but I felt like growing up I was the kid that they picked on in the house, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
But for the most part, it was all love. You know, my mom, she did the best she could for us. She took care of me and my little brother and my grandpa. You know, he held it down. He was in the army. You know, he used to cook and clean, and he taught us different things. So it was just like up and down for me. You know how it be when you know as a teenager you hit puberty and then you just you know with your parents you don't see eye to eye. I lost my dad at 13, so you can pretty much guess how me and my mom relationship was. But overall, it was good. You know what I mean?
Teflon, the same question.
My family. I grew up in.
Cuz, turn your volume down on your phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody listening on their phone, tell them to turn their volume down too.
Do y'all hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you better now.
Yeah. My family was close. We grew up around each other. I grew up like 3 blocks away from my grandma. So I was back and forth around my mom house. But like you said, the environment took me for a
Keep
minute.
breaking up.
But behind that comes
Hey, cuz. Okay,
yeah.
so you're breaking up. So you're moving around a lot. Okay. Hello.
Yeah,
Can you
you
hear
hear
me?
me? You hear me?
Okay.
Yeah, like
Okay.
I was saying.
Yeah. Repeat
No,
what you were saying.
like I was
Like I was
saying.
saying,
I grew up
I
like
grew up
three
like
three
three
blocks
three
away from
blocks
my
away from
grandma,
my grandma,
so
so
we was
we
pretty
was pretty
close.
close.
Mm-hmm.
So,
So,
my family
my
really
family really
close.
close.
The
The
streets really
streets really
like you
like
said,
you
the
said, the
environment.
environment.
Streets really
Streets
took
really
me
took
away
me
from my
away from my
family for a
family
little
for a
minute.
little minute.
Okay.
But they was
But they was
always there.
always there.
Okay. Look, Kelvin. What about
Yeah.
your family life? And be honest. Don't sugarcoat none just because I'm your mama. Tell the
What
truth.
you mean? What you mean by family life?
Like the house you grew up in, where you lived, how was it?
I mean, we grew up with in Foxville, like it wasn't. I don't know. It was like y'all was there, but y'all wasn't there, so I was able to, go outside whenever I want to, really do what I want to do. You feel me? So,
Yeah, I get it. I understand. I understand. And at the end of the day, what a lot of people don't know about me, and I said this on my show, I don't know what a girl YN is. I don't know what that is. But I used to be in gangs. I was blessed into a gang at an early age. So I tried not to raise my children like that, but we did end up living in a project kind of projecty hood. So it was these projects that they built outside of Chicago that people from Chicago moved into for low income. And that's why I raised my kids. And they seen a lot of things they weren't supposed to. I worked all the time because I was never home, like he said. We was there, but we wasn't there. So we didn't understand. They was able to do things that we didn't know about. So let's get into how what type of lifestyle did you start to live as you got older? Let's start with you.
I need like around the age,
Like around like
yeah,
when
like
your first time you start getting into trouble? Let's go there.
I'll say like 13, 14, like when I hit like right after my pops died, like I don't know, it's like when my pops died, I don't know, something just like struck at me or something. I just was like going downhill. I felt like the school I was going to, I went to Carmen Northwest. I felt like that school was just racist, you know what I mean? So it was just like I didn't have a relationship with my mom, you know what I mean? So it was like as a young male, I was battling a lot of stuff. So it was easier for me to act out, you know what I mean? I just really felt like I was just really misunderstood in a way. You know what I mean? Because it's like, oh, you bad, you this, you that. People used to say a lot of things about me. You know what I'm saying? But I just felt like, I didn't really have like a lot of male role models. Like I said, my pops was gone. And I wasn't seeing eye to eye with my mom. So I was in the streets. You know what I mean? I was in the streets at like 15, you know what I mean? So that was kind of like my experience. Like I would say around like 15,
15.
14, 15, yeah.
Teflon. Same question.
Could you
Could you
repeat?
repeat the question?
What age did you start to get into trouble? Like what was around the age range that you start to turn into
Like,
Teflon?
like, I
I
was young.
was young.
I was
I was
young.
young.
On my
On my
first,
first,
I
I
called my
called my
first
first
11.
11.
11.
I
I
called my
called my
I was
I was
11.
11
Open
open
contest,
contest.
and
And
because,
because,
like I
like I
said,
said,
environment, the
the
environment
environment
ready
ready
like
to like you
old. I
old,
was
I was
running
running
around,
around
kicking with
kicking
them,
with them,
getting
getting
into it,
into
getting into it,
Kids,
getting
boy.
into.
and
And
that's
that's
when I said though,
it
like,
though. Like,
probably
probably
get
get
on in
on in
the
the
I
consequences,
don't
consequences,
know what is
and
going
the
on.
the
actions that
actions that
I made,
I made.
but
But
it was
it
just
was just
that
that
day
day
when
when I was
best
best
believe
believe
All right, cause hold on one second. The the internet, I don't know if it's your internet or something, or you blinking in and out. Are you like off in a room somewhere?
I'm
I'm
right here in
right
the
here in the
kitchen.
kitchen.
Would you
Would you
not?
not?
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm right
go.
here. Go.
Huh?
I'm right
I'm
here in
right
the
here in
kitchen.
the kitchen.
Yeah.
Y'all
You
Y'all
still,
blinking
still
in and out real bad.
yeah,
yeah,
Let's see. Fat baby, let's see. When did you start getting into trouble? And tell the truth. I heard
Like
you
15, 16.
16.
I
I
started
started
stealing
stealing
cars.
cars. I heard about that.
I
I
was
was
okay.
okay.
So
So
it was.
it was.
I had
I
a
had a
lot of
lot of
free
free
time
time
living with
living
my
with my
pops
pops
and
and
his
his
family.
family.
You
You
feel me?
feel me?
I had
I
a
had a
bad
bad
attitude
attitude
problem
problem
growing
growing
up,
up,
so
so
I didn't
I
get really
didn't
get
get really
along
get
with them.
along with them.
So I was
So I
more
was more
outside in the
outside in the
streets,
streets,
me and my
me and my
friends,
friends,
you
you
know.
know,
And
and
I
I
let it
let it
take
take
cars.
cars. Okay, y'all, hold on. Both of y'all are blinking in and out. So give me 1 second. Can you hear him? I can't hear him. I can't. Yeah, I think it's the speakers. Because if you can hear him, I can't hear him. I didn't hear him. He was saying something else and it blinked out. Are you on? You got your headphones? Okay. I don't hear anything. Yeah. It was working last time. I don't know what. She was outside. Okay. Let's go with you. Okay. What? Okay. I don't want to ask that, but I do want to ask it, but I want to ask it in a certain way. Have you ever been arrested?
A lot of times.
What have you been arrested for?
Oh man. Fighting. Uh, I had a robbery case. Like disorderly conduct. It's just like a lot of stuff. Some of everything really.
You got caught. Let's pick a case. How did you get caught in that?
We can
Well,
do the,
let's go with the first time you got arrested. What happened?
the first time I got arrested, I was dealing with a crazy ex. You know what I'm saying? She lied on me and said that I choked her. So I was dealing with the strangulation and suffocation case.
Mm-hmm.
But
Strangulation and suffocation.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
she lied and said I choked her or whatever. But I just ended up some time had went by when it happened. I think they caught me like a year later.
Mm-hmm.
And I was arrested, and then I just did like 3 days in the county, and then they released me because it wasn't really nothing.
Okay, let's go with the YN case.
Okay, like the robbery case.
Yeah, let's
All
go
right.
there.
Hey, so I'm kind of glad that you asked me that because I can kind of get it off my chest. But I got caught just because I busted a move with the wrong guy. I got told on basically.
Mm-hmm.
One of my people that I busted a move with, my co-defendant, he told on me, and it was me, him, and my brother. You know what I mean? We did what we did, and they ended up turning themselves in, and the third guy he basically told on us. So that's how we got caught, really.
Okay. And that didn't teach you. How long did you stay in jail for that?
Whoa! So like when it first went down, I was on the bracelet. This one like when the pandemic hit, I was on the bracelet for like 4 years, like fighting my case, and then they ended up taking me off the bracelet. I got sentenced to like a year, and I did like 6 months in the HLC. So and then you said, what did I learn from that?
Yeah. Did you
What-
learn anything? Because did you go back to jail afterwards?
No, I ain't been back to jail since I've been out. That was my last time since I've been out. But what I learned is basically don't laugh. Don't if you're gonna do something, do it by yourself. That's number one. And then number two, I really should have just thought about that. You know what I mean? Because what really happened was the guy lied to me about he sold me a car and lied to me about what was wrong with it. You know what I'm saying? You know how that go. You know how Milwaukee niggas be. And we did what we did. You know what I'm saying? And you know it ended up being where it's at now. But basically, what I learned is just to accept my L. You know what I mean? It was an L. I should have just charged it to the game, moved on, because I thought about how much money I missed out on being on the bracelet and not being able to go out and do what I want to do. So it really wasn't even worth it, really.
And the same people that you hung out with wasn't there for you when you was locked up.
I mean, my brother was my free Kodak. I want to say that free Kodak, free Rob. You know what I'm saying? That was my brother. I mean, we was fighting the same case, but we was there for each other. But other than that, nope. It was really just me and my girl, which is my baby mama now. Shout out my baby mama. Shout out Fee. You know what I'm saying? She held it down, you know, when I was locked up. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't really nobody. It was just me and my girl, and you know what I'm saying, my baby.
That's what's up. Teflon. You know I know your backstory, but we gonna tell the world. When you got locked up, when did you get locked up and how long was you locked up for and what was you locked up for?
So like I was saying, y'all hear me right? Ain't breaking up.
Yeah, so far it's better. Yeah.
Alright, like I was saying, I've been getting locked up since I've been 11 years old. But the
The
previous
previous
case
case
that I
that I
just
just
came
came
home
home
on,
on,
I
I
did
did
eight and
eight
a
and a
half
half
years
years
on.
on.
And like I
Like I
posted
posted
did,
did,
like
like
they
they
charged me
charged me
with
with
an
an
eviction.
eviction.
So they
So they
enhanced
enhanced
my
my
case
case
to a
to a
9 to
9 to
45.
45.
They
They
ended up
ended up
maxing it
maxing it
out,
out,
giving me
giving me
31
31
years
years
at
at
85%.
85%.
But
But
like
like
I
I
said, I've
said,
been
I've been
going to
going to
jail since
jail
I've
since
been
I've been
11
11
years
years
old.
old.
So
So
in
in
jail, it's
jail,
like
it's
you
like
can
you can
do,
do,
you can
you can
go
go
in
in
doing
doing
something
something
good,
good,
or you
or
can
you
go
can
in
go
doing
in doing
something
something
negative. You
negative.
know
You
what
know
I'm
what I'm
saying?
saying?
Like
Like
it's
it's
all
all
around. It's
around.
all
It's all
around.
around.
So I
So
went
I
in
went in
there,
there,
jumped in the
jumped in
law
the law
library,
library,
studied
studied
my
my
case,
case,
studied
studied
my
my
case,
case,
and
and
found
found
loopholes in
loopholes
my
in my
case.
case.
I ended
I
up
ended up
coming
coming
home
home
early.
early.
I ended
I
up
ended
coming
up coming
home
home
2020.
2020.
Since I've
Since
been
I've
home
been home
2020, I
2020,
done
I done
got out
got out
papers.
papers.
I
I
done
done
kept a
kept a
job
job
because I
because I
refuse
refuse
like
like
to
to
not
not
let
let
the
the
next
next
man
man
outthink me.
outthink me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm
You know what
saying?
I'm saying?
Like
Like
it ain't
it
what
ain't
you
what you
do,
do,
it ain't
it ain't what you
it's
do,
how
it's
you
how you
do it.
do it.
So
And
that's how it is.
I'm coming back around to this because we're gonna get into the environment part. So look, Kelvin, your first case that you got caught on, and how long did you stay, or is that the situation now?
Well,
Well,
I ain't got
I
no
ain't got no
long story.
story.
I was
I
just
was
my
just
first
my
case
first
that I
case
got
that I
locked
got
up
locked
on
up on
is my
is my
recent case
recent case
now.
now.
The gun case?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I stayed
I
in there
stayed
for
in there
like
for like
6
6
days, but
days,
now
but
I'm on
now I'm
house
on
arrest.
house.
You on
So
house
So
arrest?
yeah,
yeah,
That's why your butt on here because you ain't got nothing else to do. Yeah. Just in case y'all didn't hear him, my son just got out of Cook County Jail for a gun case he just caught. They put him on house arrest. We'll know what's going on when he go back to court. So I wanted to say that. Okay, let's talk about the environment. Is the environment a big part of why y'all turned to the streets?
I feel like of course. You know what I mean? Because you gotta think about it like, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like just like when you go to jail, like when you are in your environment, you gonna adapt. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm.
kind of like your situation, you and your son. My mom was always at work, so you know what I mean. I was on the block and I was doing the stuff that I seen. So I'm gonna, from my experience, I'm gonna say yeah, the environment because you know what I'm saying? They was banging GD. So that's, you know what I mean? That's
Mm.
what I am. You know what I'm saying? I went outside, I seen them doing it. So I wanted to do it. And as a kid, you know what I mean? I was looking up to them. They was getting money. And, you know, my mom, you know what I mean? She started doing better later in life when she got a better job. But we was poor for the most part. So me being a little kid going outside, seeing them with money and new shoes and new Jordans, that caused me to do it. So I'm gonna always feel like the environment you in gon' play a role in how your character or how you gonna be.
Right. I feel the same way, and like I said, it's different from back in the days than here. I'm 45 now, but when I was younger than my son, I was in a situation where I needed protecting from my home. And at the time, my boyfriend at the time promised me protection. So that's how I ended up in the game. You know what I'm saying? I had dudes outside of the home protected me from whatever I needed to be protected from.
Right.
And my environment. That's the environment I was in. That's the environment I adapted to. So I get it. Teflon, you grew up on the south side of Chicago.
Yeah.
Motown, your original Mo,
Yeah.
Keystone. Your environment is definitely, I believe, is the reason why. Am I correct?
I can say that like with my environment, we all family.
Mm-hmm.
It
It
was
was
back
back
then.
then.
It is
It is
to
to
today.
today. Mm-hmm.
Like I
Like I
did my
did my
time. I
time. I
come
come
home.
home.
The
The
old
old
people
people
welcome me
welcome me
home.
home.
The
The
brothers
brothers
welcome
welcome
me
me
just
just
as
as
well
well
as
as
my
my
family
family
welcome
welcome
me
me
because
because
they
they
family.
family. Mm-hmm.
So
So
like
like
my
my
environment
environment
is
is
what
what
probably
probably
what
what
caused me to
caused me to
go
go
in,
in,
but my
but my
environment what
environment would
caused me
cause
to
me to
survive in that
survive in
bit
that bit
too.
too. Mm. I heard that, and I'm gonna say that I did a show with my oldest son who did 4 years in prison
Mm-hmm.
for a robbery case, and he said the same thing Teflon said. He said even though the environment gets you locked up, the environment help you survive in there.
Fact.
Drake Brown.
I can elaborate on
Right
that.
up.
That's kind of just like if you go in there, you know what I mean? I don't know how it is other places, but it's like if you go in there and it's a section of GDs and I'm a GD,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean? I go where my people's there.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, we built off, loyalty. So, you know what I'm saying? With me coming in, even if I'm, excuse my language,
Loyalty.
like effed up or
Mm-hmm.
whatever, the gang, they gonna make sure I'm straight. So
Mm-hmm.
in a way, that is true. You know what I
And
mean?
and I just said that, and that's why I'm real strong on loyalty. Like people don't have that nowadays, but that's embedded in me because of my gang affiliation.
Yeah.
You have to be loyal. So that's one thing I do carry with me from that. Look, Kelvin,
Hey.
what's up? Somebody about to say something? What?
Nah, something else.
Oh, what?
Nah,
Oh,
that's somebody else.
look, Kelvin, your environment, because I wasn't there, was your environment one of the reasons the people you were around? Because let's be honest, we had a lot going on at our home, and I'm be honest. Let's do it. If we're gonna do it, we're gonna do it honestly, right? As a young mother, I had a lot going on in my home. It was drugs being sold out of my home. My home was raided while my kids was there. It was cigarettes, blunts being sold out of my home, and studios was in my home. There was a lot going on in my home. So with that being said,
What is the studio? What studios? What is that?
I actually had rappers like a studio set up at my home. So
Where they come rap.
yeah, I was the girl with the studio.
Or was that a front?
It wasn't. They
Oh.
was actually making music in there.
Turning them successful.
But as a young mother working and stuff like that, the guys still hung around the home. I'm a guy's girl. The guys still hung around the home. Was your environment one of the reasons why?
I mean, yeah, I seen a lot of stuff, but it was really when I just got out there with the wrong crowd. You feel me? The wrong crowd, they wrong thing. I was out there
Which cuz?
at the most
Fat baby, turn your volume down on your phone. And then just let it sit there.
Hello.
Okay.
I was out there popping pills.
You are popping go ahead.
People that y'all hear me?
Yeah.
My bad. Yeah. It was like the people that I started hanging around with once I really popped outside. So
So you were popping pills?
yeah.
Yeah, your brother told me the same thing. It's crazy, like me having these
Wait,
conversations.
did that he was popping pills too?
Yeah, his brother, my other son, was in jail for 4 years.
You pop pills?
Do I pop pills?
Have you?
No,
Have you ever
I don't
pop
pop
pills?
pills at all. I just smoke weed. That's it.
You did.
Yeah.
That's what
Teflon, have you ever popped pills?
Yep. Got the pill right now.
Okay.
he on that right now.
Do y'all think the drugs played a big part of?
I think so because 9 times out of 10, just my opinion, I feel like the younger crowd, they look up to the rappers, and that's what they promoting in their music. That's what they, you know what I mean. That's what they throwing out there. So it's kind of like encouraging the YNs to do that type of stuff, and when they get on that type of stuff, it take over their mind. So I think so.
Yeah, I think so too. I was just talking about how this generation is the new strung out generation. And I say that because, okay, I say it like this. My generation, we lived with heroin addicts and drug addicts.
Mhm.
You know that, Teflon, right? We lived with that.
Yeah.
So we decided not to be on that stuff. So your mom probably wasn't on drugs. His mom, my mom, my son's mom, me, I wasn't on drugs because we knew what drugs did to people, right?
Yeah.
But our kids didn't have to live with that because we wasn't on drugs. So they don't know what drugs really did to people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So they get out here and try stuff because they don't know.
Like I say, I feel like it's more into the music. You know what I mean? Because you gotta think about it. They favorite rapper or whoever they look up to, they idol. You know what I'm saying? They popping pills and they rapping about like Future and Young Boy. They talk about all the time how they pop pills and stuff like that. So I feel like, with that being said, I feel like that's why they do that type of stuff too.
Teflon, what got you into popping pills?
I
You said what?
my first time was one of the guys.
One of the guys.
You know what I'm saying? Kick it was females. I pop. It took me like I ain't gonna even. That shit. Everybody knew it at the same time. But I know motherfucker. Afterwards, I got locked up. I got locked up after that. When I came home, I popped again, and the effect that it took, it was a good effect. That shit had me. Yeah.
Whatever devices you got going on in your background is interfering with what you saying. Yeah, we hear music, we hear all type of stuff going on back there.
Turn it down. Bro. JB.
Fat baby. I'm sorry, look, Kelvin. I know you don't like me to call you fat baby, but you still my fat baby. Look, Kelvin.
Yeah.
When did you start popping pills?
I was hanging with the older. I was like 16. I was like 16 hanging out with the older crew. From they was from out west and stuff. I went to a party and everybody was doing it. So I did it for the first time. I messed with it and I just continued doing it. I stopped doing it when I was like 21.
So you not popping pills anymore?
Nah.
Okay. Proud of you. That's what's up. That's what's up. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I might when I pop out, I might.
You know what?
You know.
Well, you grown. I don't look. You grown. I try to tell y'all how to do right. You do what you want to do as a grown person. Just know when you get yourself in trouble, I'll come visit. That's it. Yeah. Okay. So we gotta take them off completely off for the whole show. Oh dang! I wasn't done. Oh yeah. Let me see. Kelvin, can you say something? Are you still echoing?
Yeah, I'm here.
Is he echoing?
I can't hear no more.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, son. Well, I'm gonna have to let you go. I'm gonna have to do this interview just with me, Momo,
Measy.
Measy, Measy. But I love you. And who? No, he right here.
I still see him.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, he off now.
Yeah. Yeah. That really sucked. Well, she was in California. It's always sunny over there. Yeah. Yeah. All right, Meezy. This all on you now.
Let's do it.
Okay. Meezy. Let's start with what was you thinking with your first case? Like when you caught your first case, not the first one, the YN one, the robbery.
The robbery, right.
Yeah, when you caught that case, what was you thinking when you got caught? Because let's go into your mind of that day. Okay, you woke up.
To be honest, right?
You woke up. You woke up. Right. And
I woke up in jail, or I woke up I woke up at home when they caught me. Which one?
When you woke up that day.
Okay. When I woke up that day.
Let's go into your mind of that day. Let's get into it.
So like the day I woke up before the police caught me.
Yeah.
Okay, so I ain't gonna lie. You know what I'm saying? That be the thing when you get caught, you just don't know. Like I just woke up. It was a normal day. You know what I'm saying? I was at my spot and I was watching TV and I was just, you know what I'm saying? I was chilling with my baby and then I got that knock on the door.
They came to the house.
They came to the house.
Cause dude told on you.
Yeah,
he told them where you live.
All that. So like they came where I was at and they kicked the door down and they came and they got me. So my thinking was just like you say, it was just a normal day, just a regular day. I know I'm on the run. I gotta be smooth, and they ended up coming to get me.
Let's go to the normal day of the robbery. Okay, let's get into that. You beat the case, or no, you didn't beat the case. You did your time for the case, right?
Yeah, I did my time.
So we can speak on it.
Yeah, we can speak on it.
Okay,
yeah. It's over with.
The day of the robbery. What made you say, like that day? Like, let's go through your day.
Like when
because I be wanting to know what be going through y'all mind when y'all decide to do stuff.
So like I said, I had brought this car from this guy or whatever. You know what I'm saying? He lied to me about what was wrong with the car.
Right.
So I'm driving the car around all day, just trying to take it to different places and see what's really wrong with it. So I called a guy or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm trying to like negotiate with him. Like, you know what I mean? I gave you a lot of money, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just at least give me something back to where I can get what's wrong with it fixed. You know what I'm saying? And he didn't want to do it, and I turned up.
So you robbed him?
Yeah, I did. Like I said, yeah, we bust a move on.
Wait a minute, have you been charged for these crimes?
Yeah,
I didn't did my time already.
Yeah, that's why
I said we can speak on it.
We need to use words like allegedly.
I would never speak on something he wasn't charged.
I saw it on Law and Order.
He asked me already.
Look, I saw it on Law and Order.
I've been sentenced for everything. You know what I'm saying? So we can speak on it.
Okay, but you did. You don't want to be retried, right? Everything
he can't be.
We good. It can't be.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't want nobody to get locked up.
Wait a minute. Nah.
Feel like she the police. No.
I've been through the no.
I'm talking about me.
All right, no. It's just
I'm gonna be like that one show.
I will never
Vlad
speak on something that somebody have not been charged for.
What is it, Vlad TV? What is the one with the guy?
Talking about what Boosie be on?
Yeah.
Vlad
I don't want to be like that.
Yeah, he be getting niggas cooked. No cap.
What was we?
This about the case and what was going through my head. So basically, like when he ain't want to, give me my cheese back for the car or whatever, I just went into thinking mode, and then I came up, with the scheme on how we was gonna do it.
Yeah, so because I did a lot of things when I was younger, but I had people, like I said, to protect me. The thing about it is the men back then actually didn't want to see me locked up. So they took a lot of the rap for the stuff that I did since they sent me to do it. When you got out of jail, you said that was your last time going to jail. What did you learn What lesson did you learn from that?
Like I said before, basically just to, like I say, if you're gonna do something, do it by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That's number one. And then basically, just to accept my L's, you know what I mean? Because I had to really think about it. Like I told you, I was on the bracelet for 4 years,
Mhm.
and then they strung me along some more time. And I'm just thinking about the money that I spent on the car, and then all the time I was on the bracelet, and then it's just like it wasn't worth it.
It wasn't worth
It wasn't worth it. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? I could have just brushed it off, charged it to the game.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because I was doing my thing. I was outside of high school. I was, you know what I'm saying? I was hustling at the time. So that little money that I lost on the car, I could have really just said, you know, F it. But I was too big. That's how I know I'm maturing now. Because back then I was in the mind state of a nigga not finna play with me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna stand on business. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But ever since I went to jail, I learned how to play chess, and it made me more strategic,
Mhm.
I could say. So now I think more on what, you know what I'm saying, my actions could, you know, cause and stuff like that. So it wasn't worth it.
Now, before we got online, we was talking about the young YNs. I'm not gonna say young YNs in the police,
Yeah.
right? What's your take on the police and why the YNs and some people don't respect the police?
Me personally, excuse my language, I don't fuck with the police. You know what I'm saying? I don't even call them. But, you know what I'm saying? I just feel like, how can we call them if we don't have a relationship with them? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like we'll be calling them for no reason, because it's like they harass us for no reason. I'm not saying everybody is innocent, but the
Mhm.
people that are, you know what I'm saying, they mess with people, they abuse their power. So it's like, you gotta think about it from a person, you know, like me, going through all the stuff I went through with the police, and the person telling me to call the police. I wouldn't want to call them. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. So if you felt like you was in trouble or needed the police, you feel like you wouldn't call them? Like if you actually really needed the police, you wouldn't call them to help you?
I'm not trying to sound cocky or nothing like that, but no, I wouldn't. I would
Okay.
call family. You know what I mean? I got family members that, you know what I'm saying, I can call, that'll come, and if I'm ever in trouble and stuff like that, I'm just one of them. I do not mess with the police at all. I really don't mess with them.
There's a lot of people like you that say they don't mess with the police and stuff like that. I just feel like with some police are bad. Some are, some are, but some are trying to help out here with the community, you know, but it's kind of hard when we have a lot of young people out here that's just running them up. Like you were saying earlier, you're older.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. But the younger dudes nowadays are different from what you were. Have you ever joined a gang before? Well, you said you was a GD.
Right.
Right. So
Yeah.
you joined a gang. Do you think gang culture is different than it was back when you were in gangs to now?
I feel like, yeah, it's different now, because it's like, it ain't like how it used to be. You know, as far as like, if you a blood and somebody else is a crip, if I see you, I'm gonna do something to you.
Mm-hmm.
Like nowadays, it's really all love. Like, especially here in Milwaukee, you know what I'm saying? I know it's different everywhere else, but
Mm-hmm.
as far as like Milwaukee is, like, you know, people, I'm cool with vice lords. You know, some of my brothers is vice lords. You know, so it's like it's all love now.
It's definitely a different vibe with gangs and stuff. Now, another question I want to ask is, a lot of people blame the parents for the kids are acting up. How do you feel about that?
I totally agree. I
Mhm.
totally agree. You know what I'm saying? I'm more biblical, and this is just like what I was taught growing up. You know what I'm saying? They talk about in the word how you supposed to beat your child with a rod. You know what I'm saying? And I'm thinking about like how my dad used to do me. That kept me from doing a lot of stuff. So I do feel like it's on the parents. I feel like it's on the community too as well. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to think about it. These kids doing these type of stuff because they don't have nothing to do. You know what I'm saying? My mom used to put us in like after school programs, and I was doing basketball, so I didn't have time to do a lot of these things. So I do feel like we should hold the parents accountable to a certain extent. You know what I mean? Because you can teach your child right from wrong all you want. They're gonna turn out how they want to turn out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I kind of agree with that because, like I said, my kids was in an environment where it was a lot going on,
Right.
and it was a lot going on with me at work all the time because I had to pay the bills. You know,
Right.
the fathers wasn't there.
Can I ask a question?
Go ahead.
So when you said that you used to sell drugs and everything,
I didn't sell drugs.
well, it was drugs being sold at the house. I'm sorry. So it was your partner.
Yeah.
Okay. How was that for you? Like, did you ever process things for your children, or how many children did you have at that time?
I got 3 kids.
So how many were there when that happened?
I got 3 kids.
Oh, during that time. Okay.
Yeah.
So as a mother, because you just asked him about from a parenting perspective, as a mother, what were you thinking when you were allowing that to happen?
I wasn't. Again, I was a young mother, and I'm gonna be honest, I wasn't. It was money coming into the home. I had to pay my bills.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, I wasn't, as a young person raising 3 kids, all you thinking is you have to make sure they have. You got to make sure your bills are paid. You got to make sure that, you know, you got to see what people some people don't understand. It's plenty of crying days, you know, and you got to figure it out. And when you got people that's like, yeah, let's do this, you'll study how money coming in.
Right.
That's what you thinking. You got to do what you got to do to make it. You know what I'm saying?
Survival.
Yeah. So how did you
One
feel?
thing about it, my kids will tell you, they never wanted for anything, but the environment they was around, what taught them the things that they were, you know.
Did they ever come to you at any point like, Mom, it's a lot going on in here?
No.
Oh, it was just a norm.
Because they looked at it as it was fun.
Okay.
You know, they weren't the only kids in that project. You know what I'm saying? So they had their cousins down there, you know, everybody was family. So it was nothing like people was being beat or stuff like that. It was just like the drugs and you know, wasn't nobody using drugs, wasn't nobody on the stuff. It was just around. You know?
Yeah.
You know, so you know, and I speak honestly about this. I do take accountability for that. I do.
Yeah, I was just asking from a mother perspective, what was the why? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you said for survival, hey, it was money to
it was money.
Yeah.
Like
things were being paid for.
It was things to being paid for. I didn't want for anything. The kids didn't want for anything. And I knew even though I worked all the time, it was a family still. I knew they were safe. You know, when nobody, even though it was a lot of niggas in that house, they wasn't gonna let nobody mess with me or my kids. Right. You know what I'm saying? That's just point blank, period.
Yeah.
That's all I worried about was our safety. So that's basically, but you know, a lot of us grow up in an environment that's not good for us, right?
Right.
And you adjust to that environment. You get into survival mode, right? Mm-hmm. So you do the things you see that's around you, you know? And when my son did the 4 years, when he went to jail, he got 8 years under the 50%. I had mother's guilt. And the reason why I had mother's guilt is because it was like, damn.
Yeah.
You know,
you got that, like,
I fucked him up. What could I have done different? You know?
Yeah.
That the whole time it was a black, you know what? I'm gonna say this. I was happy and sad he was there.
Right.
I was happy he was there because I knew where he was.
Right.
When he was out, I couldn't sleep.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And not to cut you off too, though. A lot of people think like going to jail is bad. Like sometimes going to jail can save your life. It can sit you down and it can really change your perception on life. And you want to move different, and you want to, you know what I'm saying? Jail is not always a bad thing. You know what I'm saying?
I wanna, not to cut you off, but I want to agree with that. But I also want to say that I think that there should be some type of additional help when you come out. Because you could have went in there and it stopped you from being killed or whatever.
But they see a lot.
However, that could kill you inside. You can be alive and still dead. You know what I mean? So I think they come out sometimes and it's worse mentally.
So it
Yeah, some
is worse.
people,
mentally.
Yeah.
Yeah, they see a lot in there. My son won't speak on his experience in
Yes.
jail. He speaks on a little bit of it, but he said because he was in Pontiac, and that's like a medium security. But because the maximum security was full, they sent the maximum prisoners over to the medium security.
Right.
And them the killers and the rapers and stuff like that. So he had to be in there with them. So he's seen a lot, and there was a lot going on in there. He don't speak about it a lot, but I know it traumatized him and stuff like that. And that's why I said I had mother's guilt because I watched a lot of shows. I was only locked up for a domestic violence situation. My baby daddy had me locked up, but it wasn't long. But
not y'all related. DV twins.
Right. But I never been locked up in a prison. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I used to watch like the TV stuff, and I'm like, oh my God, my son is in there going through that. You know, so that's what made me feel like, you know, I did something wrong. And I do like partially blame myself. And when he got on the podcast with me, he told me, he was like, he said, it wasn't you. He was like, it was the environment. But he was like, the environment saved me in there and it sent me there. But he was like, it wasn't you. He was like, I was popping pills, just wilding out.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like, you can't really blame yourself just because, like, I got grandparents. They had 14 kids. They raised them all in church. They all turned out differently. Kids don't go their own way, no matter how you teach them, no matter what you show them. You know what I mean? They gonna use some of them skills, and some of them skills they not. They gonna always drift off into their own thing. So you can't never really blame them.
I mean, that's like having a sophisticated scammer. Yeah. They look like they, you know, being civil in the world, but they're doing some of the most heinous crimes.
Facts.
Speaking of kids, do you have children?
I got a daughter, yeah.
Keep her off the pole.
Well, y'all got some comments.
Okay, we got to come back to that. I'll tell you what I mean, but we're going to come back to that.
So you just had some people saying, that, I don't know if you see that in there, but just showing love.
Yeah.
But Trev. But
I'm sorry.
You got to take your volume down.
Okay.
But Trev is saying young people and their older siblings should teach and show more about law relationship with police without, I think he's trying to say without the police. The police wouldn't even matter if they siblings taught them more.
Yeah, older. Because it's a lot of people, they're ignorant, and the definition of ignorant is not knowing. So it's a lot of people that's ignorant. They don't know that they have certain rights. So like when the police come mess with them, they don't be knowing what to say or
what to say or do.
So I agree with that too. Like if they look more into like the law and learning the law, they will understand it's a lot of things that the police get away with that they can't do. They violate people's rights because people don't know.
Yeah. And then always 100. She said she was just talking about the Boys and Girls Club. There not being enough of that going on right now.
We had those too.
Yeah, we had them, but right now, because you made mention that there's nothing to do.
Right. Y'all
so
nothing to do, they bored. You gotta think about it, they not going to school, so it's more easier for them to be walking with they guys or whatever. Hey, let's go steal a car. Let's go. You know what I mean?
But do you think if it was more Boys and Girls Club, they would be a part of them?
Well, they cost a lot now, I think. I don't even think they.
But
they
most of the time, and I'm gonna say this because most of the time, Boys and Girls Clubs, most of these parents are on public aid, right?
Or they don't have enough. They just don't have it.
Public aid used to pay for that stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
They don't pay for that stuff no more?
I don't believe so. And it's not even that many because you got to think about it. It's only so many to a club. It's not that many.
Well, that's where I feel like we need to do better as a community too, as well.
Yeah.
Everybody come together for the youth.
Yeah.
Because they not going to, I can't really see them changing themselves. They so young.
Yeah, like you said, you didn't have more male role models, and we don't have enough male role models that's out here trying to help these young men.
Right.
You know, the few that do try, they can only do so much.
And I think our community needs to do better with holding people accountable that are in those fields because they take a lot of that money and they use it for themselves, whether everybody want to say it or not. It's a lot of that going on.
Yeah.
Sure. So everybody cool with everybody, so don't nobody want to tell the
Say
truth
nothing,
as to what's going on.
That's
But it's a
facts.
prime example. Like me personally, I think like aldermen and the mayor and just so many different areas, they should be held accountable for their district.
Mhm.
If your district has a lot of crime in it, there's no growth there,
Mhm.
people aren't thriving, you should be not even up. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? To be elected, or there should be some type of follow up with these
Maybe
people.
reasons why they do that type of stuff too. Like a lot of people don't know. Like Milwaukee, one of the most segregated cities in America. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So it's easier for us to get in trouble because we all, you know what I mean?
And they don't care.
But your
They don't
alderman
care.
your alderman or whomever should that's in that district,
Right.
county supervisor, whoever, they all should be working together to make sure that these certain districts that have that high crime, 53206, crazy.
Right.
You know what I mean? That those areas should have, like in my area, Sherman area, Hampton. There's no way all of that should have happened like that.
Girl,
Back to back like that.
me and my sister, and I'm gonna tell you this, me and my sister literally on a Saturday morning chilling in the house. And she walks to the kitchen, and it was 3 Kia boys back there dumping out 3 cars in the back of her crib.
There was a house next to me, and it wasn't. They had the sign in the front. Sometimes the sign being in the front for rent or is vacant. That's a bingo for them, right? They had pulled up, and they were like, I just started hearing gunshots. You know what I mean? They was back there doing all kinds of stuff. I'm like that though. I was raised in 53206, but I went out there like, hey, what's going on? Y'all don't live over here. Why are y'all over here? You know? I even called the landlord people, the property management. Y'all need to get somebody in that house.
Right.
Or check on it, you know? Because they started pulling up and they put a car in the garage. Get that car out that garage and don't let me see y'all back over here. You know what I mean? But I'm just one person.
Right.
And luckily they listened. You know
Luckily they listen.
That's a good thing because that's what that's what I'm gonna say. Like you gotta be careful.
Well,
man.
yeah, because
Like,
they had guns with them over there, and
Oh,
I
no.
had to pull. I'm
sure
pulling
they
mine,
did.
like,
It's how you go to them, because I asked them was they bored, because I made a post about who was hiring. I asked everybody's name. What's up? How old are you? We finna get some jobs because y'all need to do something. But it's my delivery, I'm sure. And they was like, okay, she's no threat. But sometimes you gotta talk to them. We can't just walk around scared about everything. Because watching them do it and then just whispering about it ain't gonna help nothing.
So the police got called, I guess, but they was already out of there. They sure pulled up like with 3 of them. 3 of them, and it was I was like,
That's scary.
but the other questions, Tay.
Trev was talking about the mayor and governor in Alabama turned violence all the way down. But so he's saying we should foster some of their programs. Crystal is saying we have some here currently. But I don't know how, maybe the advertisement of those programs aren't good enough. What do you think?
yeah, I think so because I feel like they gotta get more into like what people be on, like far as like a day on social media, they watching TV. So that comes really with researching, so you can put it out there so the people can come. You know
I
what mean?
1000% agree with that, and I say that because I was a part of. At one point, I was a part of the Juneteenth committee, and they were still working with paper. Like, if you want to volunteer, we don't get enough volunteers. If you want to volunteer, then they would need to fill out an application, return it back to the center, and that's a lot. You know what I mean? It's 2025. Like,
Let's talk about like how nowadays the kids are dropping out of school and not learning how to read, so they don't know how to fill out a job application. Right?
Very true.
I'm so glad we on this, and I'm gonna say this, and they probably gonna say something to me. I blame the teachers because I feel like as a teacher, like every child learns differently. I feel like as a teacher, you're being paid to be a teacher to learn how to teach different kids. You know what I mean? So if it's a kid that can't read, it's your job as a teacher to figure out how to get the job done. And I feel like teachers nowadays, they just do enough so the kid can just get by. They don't really care about the kids. They don't really. I done had some teachers tell me some crazy stuff growing up back then in school. So it's like the teachers don't really. They don't really.
They don't care. They just there for the check.
I don't want to agree to that. I kind of do, because I think there's some teachers that just don't have it.
Some of the teachers look the kids' age.
But I think the teachers are overworked and overwhelmed as well. So when my daughter went to 36th Street, right? So the MCP. She went there, and that's an awesome school. But the parents have to be involved as well. So that's the
Exactly,
part.
yeah.
I can help you at school. I can give you your homework, put it in a folder, tell you 50,000 times, please complete your homework. If you get home, everything I taught you, anything structural, you get home and your parents don't oblige to that, I start over again the next day. You have to understand how overwhelming that may be.
Yeah.
Your parent didn't even check to see if you had
Didn't even
homework.
check in on your homework. But what about the parents that work all the time and don't have?
Whose fault is that?
I agree.
Yeah.
Whose problem
Yeah.
is that?
The parents that work all the time? I
Yeah,
guess?
and then you gotta understand there's parents that work all the time. I worked a lot too, but I only had one kid. You know what I'm saying? Parents work a lot. They say that, they use that as an excuse, because it's an excuse because you started making more children. And you needed to work more and more and more because you have more mouths to feed, right? So whose problem is that?
That's true.
Yeah.
That's definitely true. That is definitely
Having children
true.
without a support system is a personal problem.
And that's what we did. See, what we don't understand, what y'all are definitely right. Back in the day, our grandparents had a bunch of kids, but they didn't go to school, right?
Yeah.
They weren't allowed to go to school. They didn't have an education. Our parents, almost the same thing. My father didn't know how to read. You know what I'm saying? So he couldn't.
How was that?
He got through life. His girlfriends helped him read his job applications. His wives helped him, get through stuff. My mom had an education.
Yeah.
My sister mother had an education. You know what I'm saying? His wives had education. So they helped him get through life.
Yeah.
My daddy was a big drug dealer here in Milwaukee.
Yeah.
When I was younger. So that's what he knew, because the jobs, even though he can get them as, what he did, it wasn't bringing in enough money to take care of his family. He couldn't get the job that paid more.
Oh, because
So
of that.
he went into drug dealing. Yeah. And he became a big drug dealer here in Milwaukee. And my thing, I think it triggers down because my education suffered because my mom worked a lot. Because even though I did have a father, he wasn't there. He had another family, which was my sister and them family.
Yeah.
So my mama had to take care of her 5 kids by herself, so she had to work. And, we did have these children, but we still had to take care of them,
Yeah.
And sometimes the education did fall on the back burner when it came to that. And that is our fault too. So, and the parents do get blamed for most of it, but
They're your kids.
they are kids. So
Yeah,
at the
they're
end of the
your
day, we
kids.
had to do what we had to do to survive. Because if we wanted to take care of, either though we had them, if we wasn't taking care of them, it's always somebody gonna say, well, she's not working. Her kids, she homeless out on the street. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They ain't got no shoes, they ain't got no clothes, they ain't got no food. She a bum ass mother.
Right.
Cause I'm at home making sure their education is good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So
So-
then it's like when they go out into the world, they gonna get bashed for that.
Yeah. Either way, you gonna get bashed either way.
It's crazy when you just sit back and think about it.
Yeah.
You know?
Either way, like when we had the kids, yes, but they here. Now what do we do?
They are here, but I think like even right now, and don't take my conversation to be like I'm pointing fingers or anything, because I've never been married. I should have, done that the right way, and I teach my daughter that, right? I should have got married and had my baby and stuff like that. However, I was in an environment where there were no men around. There weren't. I had never seen anything like that versus on TV. You know what I mean? How a structure of a family is supposed to look. And I think that we all know, okay, they had kids and they got by. You get what I'm saying? So a lot of our people live on getting by. And we never
Definitely.
really take a look at what it's like to live.
Right.
Right.
Because that's not a life.
I just started living life until my kids got older.
Yeah,
Because my life was about making sure my
They was good.
kids, they was good.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta understand, somebody told me this a long time ago. The hardest thing to do is to have a child and raise another human being.
Yes.
Especially the ones that have multiple.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? One is one.
Yeah.
It's hard enough. But when you have multiple around the same age,
Yeah.
it's a lot, and you got to figure out how. Now, you can have a 50-50 chance of them coming out good,
Yeah.
Because some kids be like, I don't want to live like this and go to school and do what they supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? But then you have the ones that adapt to the environment they in.
It's absolutely the environment. Where I grew up at, like I said, in 53206, I went to school in St. Francis though. So I got to see something different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even though it was a different race, I did get to experience something different. So I'm like, dang, I want to travel. I went to speak. This lady, a friend of mine, she has a girls group. I went to speak there back in my old neighborhood, and it was 5th graders at Andrew Douglas. I asked them about when the last time they was on a plane or had they ever been. Half of them hadn't even been to the mall. To the mall. They hadn't been off the block. It's 2025.
We used to hang at the mall.
But but look how far the mall is though from that area. They hadn't been to the mall. They hadn't flown anywhere. That's fine. But to the mall.
Some people and some kids never left their cities.
So I'm saying that to say that's not even a goal for a lot of people. They don't even hear that conversation in their house.
Yeah.
Even me asking them what they wanted to be when they grew up. Everybody wants to be an influencer.
Because that's what's happening.
Right.
That's
That's what we battling with.
Nobody want to work.
But it's not even that. They see the influencer making money and
Millions.
having fun. So, but your parents have to be teaching you the same thing, that life is fun and they're pretending they're happy. Because regardless of whatever was on TV, you still knew what was going on in your house. You could see. So what's happening? Yeah, so your parents are idolizing Love and Hip Hop, baddies and all that. They're idolizing that too for their children to be, sucking that in and repeating that. Because you still don't you ask your kids that kind of stuff? What you want to be?
And this bring me back to me saying keep your daughter off the pole.
Yeah.
Because what's on TV now that you are a parent, right? We ain't no guide to being a perfect parent. People gonna judge you regardless, right? You raise your child the way you raise her. But do you feel like you need to be in her life more because of the influences out in this world now?
I'm so glad you brought that up. Most definitely like with society and how they promoting the females, the inappropriate stuff. I tell myself that all the time. I refuse to go out like that and not be in my daughter life to at least be like you said. I tried to teach her right from wrong. Daughter, you don't do this, you don't do that, and like I say, it's just society with these females. It's just I don't want to say everybody, but the ones that it apply to, it's just rough out here. You know what I mean? So I tell my baby mama that all the time. Like, I definitely have to be in my daughter's life just so she know right from wrong.
Because you didn't have, I just feel like a lot of the young men that's out here doing the things that y'all were doing didn't have like stern father figures. So you're not having a father figure in your life that should make you want to be.
That's what I was gonna say. That definitely, like me losing my pops, that make me want to be there for my baby. Like, you know what I'm saying? I've been there every step of the way from when she came out to all the way to now. You know what I'm saying? But definitely that, like me not, growing up with just my mom in the household, or like I said, my pops not being around. I definitely want to be there for my baby. You know what I'm saying?
I have a daughter, and my mom helped me raise her too, and to this day, my daughter still watch Disney Channel and stuff like that. They study, and she's 25. They study pushing the whole culture on our girls.
Yeah, I agree.
You know what I'm saying? Like they pushing it so hard on the girls to the fact of that people is literally telling, oh, they can wear what they want. Y'all just upset because they want to show their body self. What is it? Body self love or something they call it now or something.
We went to Bayshore. My daughter and I went to Bayshore last week, and there was these 2 little girls. They was young. They wasn't that little, but they was young. It's so bad outside. I can see when little girls are respectable. I can see it. Like they saying thank you, sorry, I can tell the difference in their upbringing right now. Just simple like that. Back in the day, it really wasn't, you can eyeball somebody living bad, but it's so a norm now that they want to be little hoes. I'm not sure why, but it's turning to a norm.
It's because, like I say, it's because society, they're pushing it, and then they're also supporting it.
Mhm.
Like I like to call it the hoe community or the J community. Like a girl can do some hoe stuff, and she'll be praised for it.
Mhm.
Instead of a
Praise
person be like,
by who?
the community.
The
As
co-
far as like if they post it on Facebook or something, like she do some, you know, some hoe
My
stuff.
son, my oldest son, when he was in high school, I had a conversation because I wanted to know, was he having sex? And I was asking him about the little girls he was going to school with. And he was
Yeah.
like, shoot, they giving sloppy toppy in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Like the girls are literally pulling the boys. The boys ain't approaching the girls. The girls are pulling the boys into the bathrooms and sucking them up.
Why do y'all think that is?
Because it's like I try to say, it's the people that they look up to. Like you say, it's the baddie shows. It's the
Do
rappers.
you
But-
do you guys think any of that happens at home?
Probably
Yeah, of course.
so.
So are
course.
there do you think that they've been raped, touched, and are hypersexual for that reason?
I've been molested, but I was never like, I was a little out there, but I wasn't out there like these girls was. You know what I'm saying?
I
Like
get what you're saying.
these girls are like
They don't care.
Yesterday, I think they do care. Yesterday we podcast and there were 4 men in the room. And out of the 4, 3 of them had been raped or molested before the age of 12.
Right.
the men.
The men.
Mm.
They shared that yesterday.
That's
deep.
That's deep.
That definitely did.
That's
Because
deep. But
the-
we don't talk about
We don't
enough of
talk
that.
about it
And see
because-
how everybody was okay with
Mhm.
pushing. They just being hoes. Where do you think they got it, and why do you think they're doing it?
But they'd be crazy because it be in their homes.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
A lot
it be
of
in their
times they
homes.
are being raped, they are being molested,
it be
and nobody's fighting for them. Their mothers are saying,
Yeah.
they fast.
Right,
Yeah.
right, right.
No, you put this man they don't know in front of them. He did something to them, and now you want them to
it
pretend
be
like it didn't
uncles, it
happen.
be cousins, it be boyfriends,
thought
it be
about
all
it like
time.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we don't. Yesterday when those
Yeah.
guys said that, yeah, everybody was speeding past that. That's
Mhm.
a foundational piece.
That's a big piece.
You wonder why he's calling you bitches and hoes. He's mad at women somewhere in there. You know what I mean?
And remember when I said I had to be protected, that's why I joined the game.
Mhm.
That was the
Yeah.
reason.
Yeah.
what
Nobody
I'm
asks
saying?
the why. the
But
reason
nobody
why.
asks the why I was. Nobody asked why I was acting out. Nobody asked what happens. I think one person asked me when I got older,
Yeah.
and I didn't even have to say the person that did it to me. She already knew, and it was just like, and I just said, yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's a lot of people. It's a lot of us that's been through some things, but nobody asks why
And that's
we
what-
go that way.
That's what I was saying when I was saying earlier, when I was like, I felt like I was misunderstood.
Mm-hmm.
Because nobody never really asked why. Like you said, they just looked at the outcome. Measy doing this, Measy doing this.
Mm-hmm.
But why is Measy
Doing it?
Why?
Yeah.
Why?
Sometimes you just want people to ask.
Just ask.
Facts.
And
Yeah.
you probably could have. They probably could have helped you navigate through that. But that's why I'm saying that about the school, the
Yeah.
teacher.
Mhm.
Nobody asked the parents if you know how to read. You just automatically think the parents know how to
Assumed it.
read. I can't help him with his homework. I can't, and I'm too embarrassed to say why.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So for the teachers, oh, your mama just lazy. Your daddy, you ain't got no daddy. Your mom, what are they supposed to do?
Yeah.
You know, how the kid probably don't even know their parents don't know how to read or write. You know,
Yeah.
Facts.
and the
Yeah.
teachers jumping to conclusions.
Yeah. And that's the crazy part, because a lot of us grew up with stuff like that, and it comes back to the environment, and it comes back to the household, and it comes back to school. It comes back to a lot of things, and that plays a part into why these kids act the way they do. We just can't put it on the kids. It's a
Mhm.
whole foundation behind everything they do.
Somebody in the comments said that, always 100. She said it's all of us, the parents, the students, the schools, the community,
all.
Mhm.
and it takes a village. And for the I believe that too. I definitely do. I think that sometimes all of us are going through so much you can't even see what anybody else is going through
Right.
because you're
Mhm.
too busy going
Went
through
through your
stuff.
stuff.
Hey.
And you don't mean no harm.
Yeah.
Auntie, shout out my auntie, Chandler, love you.
Yeah.
Hmm. That's crazy. Yeah, that's anything.
Crystal
So
said homes aren't homes anymore. Families don't move or operate like family. Love is
Facts.
also missing from the home. I think those three pieces can help save our youth.
Cause that's kind of like with my thing, like with my family. Like I love my family, not to like shoot them down or nothing, but it's kind of like my friends was more like family to me when I was going through stuff, and my actual family. You know what I mean? So
I can't really say that because my mom raised us with our cousins, so our cousins are like our siblings. So I had family, but with what I was going through, I didn't have family. Do you get what
I
I'm
get what you
saying?
mean, right?
Like I had family. Like we a
Yeah.
close knit family.
Same thing with me too.
As adults, we close knit.
Yeah.
But when I was going through what I was going through, because back then family culture was what happens in this house stays in this house.
Facts.
You couldn't talk about nothing that went on in this house outside the family. So that's what, so like our cousins, we stayed the night over our grandmas. We did that. But nowadays, like my kids, they siblings, they grew up together in the same house, but they barely talk to each other.
Oh yeah. Leah said nowadays babies having babies and there's no structure and guidance. So to what you're saying though, do you think like in dynamics like that, like young people are having babies so they can be loved or have love or create their own? You know what I mean? If you feel like I have a family but I don't, and now the young people are saying, well, I want somebody to love me, and they think that parenting piece.
A lot of girls are having, and they ain't gonna like me when I say this. A lot of these girls are having babies to keep these niggas that they with around.
Yeah.
They really
I
don't
was
want
gonna
these
say that
kids.
too, right.
They don't want these kids. Let's be honest. That's why they so easy to give them up to the police station or threaten to do something to them when the dude do something to them. They don't want these kids for real nowadays. They just had them to see if that man was gonna stay with them, and once that man did, now they don't want to deal with him. So they just let them. Whoever take them or take them. Who they let them go over anybody's house.
Facts.
They just
That's
do
one thing-
whatever.
That's one thing my
Yeah.
mama didn't
You
care
know?
about.
I
She
agree.
didn't allow us to just go anywhere. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? My
yeah.
mama was real strict. You know, she was real strict with a lot of stuff. So
Yeah, that's what's happening now with these kids. Now I'm gonna be honest.
Leah also said, do you think the lack of a father figure is an issue for me?
Definitely.
definitely,
Definitely.
definitely, because like with me, I kind of felt like I dealt with a lot of anger and a lot of stuff because, like I said, I felt like I didn't have nobody to talk to.
Mm-hmm.
That would be the moments when I can, call my pops up or call somebody up. That's why I just, man.
And with me, my dad, like I said, when he left my mom, he made a whole nother family. So when I was younger, I didn't have my dad. So, but when I needed him, when I got involved in gangs and my mama didn't have nowhere else to send me, and he was the last result, he took me, and he took me when I needed him the most. You know what I'm saying? He came and got me when I needed him the most.
That's good.
I was going to end up dead in jail if I didn't end up with my daddy, and my daddy raised me from that point into adulthood. So, yeah.
How old were you then?
I was 13. Yeah, I was bad. I was horrible.
Always 100 says, God made the man as a leader, head of the home. It's their responsibility to maintain the home, the wife and the children. The fellas always want to blame the women.
Well, true.
No, I agree with that.
It's also the woman. I'm gonna be honest. We picked some fucked up men to have kids with. We just not gonna blame. We just not gonna blame the men. And me being over 40, I know that now. Like, we picked some fucked up people to have kids
That's
with.
true. And Leah said, and your daughter is watching how,
what goes on. Not even your daughter, the boys.
The boys too, yeah.
The boys see, if a boy see his mother bringing men in and up out of her home, different men, they looking at this like, oh, so my mom's a hoe? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Think about that. Like, if your son watch you be a hoe, he thinking hoeing ain't too bad. You going to work. You going to work, he eating, he getting clothes.
And they don't trust women because they see, a lot of men say they see their mothers and sisters and stuff do stuff to men
Like,
Yeah. That's
that
true.
made them feel like, oh, we can't trust these.
I
Right.
feel like that's
Out
why I'm
here.
listen, that's why I feel like I'm traumatized now.
See?
I feel like I'm traumatized.
You done
from
kept
that,
some
like,
secrets, huh? Look.
man, from my auntie putting me on game and
Mhm.
watching my sister, it's like I can't trust. That's why I'm by myself.
That's why I say this, even though I was in a bad relationship, I stayed in that relationship because of my kids, because I didn't want to have to try. Because back then, it's always taught like you needed a man to, validate you and stuff like that. So I just stayed so I wouldn't have to jump from man to man. I just stayed right there. He was nice to my kids. He wasn't nice to me, but he was nice to my kids. I can trust him with
Ain't
my
that
children.
crazy how two
Yeah.
kids could be
Yeah.
like
He
you
was
a
good
better
to my,
person?
because two of my kids wasn't his. My youngest son that was on here was his only child.
Yeah.
That's his only child. But my two kids, I got with him when they was like 2 and 3, 2 and 4.
Mhm.
So, but he was real good to them. I didn't have to worry about my daughter around them and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But that's why I stayed.
Yeah.
It was safe for them.
For the kids.
Yeah, it was safe for them. And people don't understand, like, some relationships you stay in, and a lot of men say this too, they stay with the women that they don't like because they don't want another man raising their children.
Man, you on to something.
You know what I'm saying? Because you never know who she might bring into that house.
Yeah, no cap.
That's scary.
That's definitely scary, man. Cause like you said, you don't know if niggas is pedophiles. You don't know
Exactly.
and then you gotta think about it as far as like me, I got a daughter. So you know what I'm saying? I gotta think about that type of stuff.
They stay in, men stay in some of these relationships because they don't want nobody, other men coming in there raising their kids. Because we, as some of us women, even though men make bad decisions on women, for women, we make horrible decisions when it comes to men. Horrible.
I like the accountability.
But it's the truth.
Cause there's a lot
No,
of women,
I agree with that.
it's a lot of women don't
Yeah.
like to take accountability. They always think it's the nigga part. It's the
No.
nigga part.
It's about, I'm done blaming men. This is why I don't do relationship podcasts anymore, because it's the back and forth of blaming women and men. We both are fucked up with picking who we be with.
Right.
That's just what it is. Just take accountability. We can't blame, oh, she did this, he did that, they did this. No, it's the people we picked.
Yeah.
Period.
I think too though, because I know a lot of times people will pretend to be a certain type of way in order to get you, and then once you find out, it's too late in a lot of cases.
It do be
But
too late.
there are red flags there. But then people
That's
also
what I
say,
was gonna say.
well, show grace. But there's some red flags that shouldn't even be compromised.
No,
My
bro,
thing
no.
is,
Yeah.
I don't show grace at all. That's why I've
Yeah.
been single for the last 10 years.
Yeah.
I don't show nobody no grace, because as soon as you show some grace, that's when the bullshit start, and then you just stuck.
You need to
Red
show some
flag.
grace. You're gonna
That's when you're stuck.
Hey,
And no.
First red flag, I'm out of there.
Yeah, and people like, you don't give nobody no chance, and you see what y'all going through. Like, I don't want to do that no more. I learned my lesson, and I'm the child that if I got burnt, I'm not gonna do it again.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And
That's
you
me.
gotta
I'm
y'all
not
got
doing it.
a whole. That's a whole nother topic.
Yeah, so, but we about to wrap this up. But I want to thank you for coming on. Did you get what you need to get off, or did you
Yeah,
want to say anything else?
I think we unpacked a lot of good
Yeah,
stuff.
I feel like we packed a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
You know. I feel like I got everything out. You know.
What are you doing now? Before we go, what are you doing? You are not a YN anymore. So what are you
Who said he
doing
was
now?
about to drop the mask?
Yeah.
And like,
What are you doing now? Let the people know that you are doing better in your life.
So like I'm working for the city right now. I do garbage or whatever for the city. I'm still playing ball. You know what I mean? I'm still taking care of my daughter. I'm just taking it one day at a time. I feel like that's all I can do, and I ain't been really hanging around people because, like I said, you know, nigga done told on me, so I really be by myself. And then my brother, Free Kodak again, he locked up. That's normally who I be with. You know what I'm
what'd
saying?
he do?
His baby mama lied on him. You know how that be. She lied on him, got him locked up. So now he fighting. You know what I'm saying? He dealing with that right now, but he should be home next month.
Okay.
But like I said, I just been by myself. I've been taking it one day at a time. You know what I'm saying? Working, still playing ball, keeping God first, taking care of my baby. I feel like
I
that's
was
all I
waiting on
can
God
do.
to come.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
always got to put God first. That's just me. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna always put God first,
Mhm.
then myself. then my daughter, then family.
That's what's up. That's what's up. And I'm proud of you that you got out of that situation and doing better for your life and your child and your family. So that's what's up. It's good to see young men that learn a lesson and keep
Do better.
and do better. So
Yeah.
that's what's up. And we need more of that happening nowadays. I thank you for coming on my podcast and speaking with me. Would you like to let them know where to follow you if you want?
Y'all can follow me. Y'all can follow me on IG at Meezy6 MEE_ZY and then the number 6.
All right. Well, y'all, thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of Life Goes On podcast with Kiana J. I will see y'all next week. My next guest will be a Chicago police officer, so we will be unpacking today's episode in the life of a Chicago police officer. So thank y'all again. If nobody told y'all today, I'm going to tell you I love you. Have a good day.